Hello and welcome to another episode of the Kingdompreneur Speaks podcast. I'm glad you're joining us today. Today the message is targeted at the youths. It's targeted at the young unmarried people. And the message is titled Handling Sexual Temptations from the biblical perspective. So youths, in case you've been wondering how to overcome these challenges and be able to keep yourself, then gather round and listen.
If I don't have you, Lord, what would I gain? If you take me home.
Right now, let's begin like this. When Jesus went back to heaven, God left us with His Spirit and His Word. And that Word is the compass which He gave to every man to enable him direct the course of his life in a way that will please the Father. And we all know that God created us to give Him glory in all things, especially in our actions. Philippians chapter 1 verse 11. But why then do we strive so hard to glorify Him in things that don't matter as much to Him? Like we strive to glorify Him by paying big tithes, big offerings, so that pastors will believe that we love God so much. Some young ladies even go as far as dressing like Virgin Mary, so as to make people believe they are holier than thou. Meanwhile, they are dating all the young men in their church departments and will even date the pastor if he comes. While some young men will turn into fervent prayer warriors, church leaders, etc., always blasting in tongues, so as to deceive the young sisters in church or around them. Youths, it's not all about that. Are you glorifying God in your body first? If you cannot glorify God in your body, then you cannot glorify God with your actions, because you will only be exhibiting what is called a strange fire. When you have desecrated the temple of the Holy Spirit, then how can you be able to serve God blamelessly? Don't you know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit? How can you call yourself a Christian? If you go anywhere, maybe a job interview, some of you will be asked, are you a Christian or a Muslim? And most of you would say, you are Christians. Do you think Christianity is mere religion? It's It's a lifestyle. Youth, you must live it to be called one. In Romans chapter 6, verse 12, Paul admonished, under the unction of the Holy Spirit, that we let not sin therefore reign in our mortal bodies, to make us obey their passions. So sin begins with your body first. But you can live that life. You can live away from sexual immorality. Handling your sexual life based on God's instructions. That is the only key. Now let's take a look at these instructions that can help us deal with sexual issues and temptations that pose a threat to our purity and the relationship with God the Father. Number 1, create a godly pattern of distractions during arousals. Of course, every young adult experiences such seasons in their lives. It's a normal thing, it's nature. But as a Christian, in order not to give the devil a channel for temptation, when such occurs, you must surround yourself with strategic escape routes. That's what I call them. It could be worshiping God with songs to take your mind off, or perhaps reading, listening, or watching godly content. Trust me, when you do this, the Holy Spirit, who is the ruler of the mortal body and your helper, will help you cause a gradual decrease of such feelings and urges. And yes, it doesn't just happen to people who aren't willing to serve and glorify God. You must first give in to God's authority so He can take control of your life. Right, let's go to number 2. Number 2 says, abstain from agents of arousals. If you can remember vividly, when the devil came to tempt Jesus after his 40 days and 40 nights fast, at the first temptation, Jesus said, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of God's mouth. Youth, you shall not live by your sexual urges alone. You have to flee from every appearance of sexual temptations, because the devil is out there. He's looking for whom to devour. If you wish to be free from sexual immorality, then you have to flee from these things. Anything, any link that can cause such sexual arousals, you have to just desist from them. Many youth do not understand that sex is spiritual, and when you engage in it, you exchange your soul and your spirit and everything with whoever you have sex with. Some youths today are having problems in their lives without knowing where it is coming from. Check yourself. Don't allow yourself to be a victim. Number 3 says, if you are full of sexual passion, ask God to give you the right marital partner. In the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 2, Paul said, but because of the temptations to immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman her own husband. And in verse 8 it says, to the unmarried and the widows, I say that it is well for them to remain single as I do. But if they cannot exercise self-control, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to be aflame with passion. Youths, did you hear that? Stop looking for how you will get free sex and kisses. Please marry. You will not hold yourself. It is better to have sex in the confines of marriage. That is the path God had created for us. God said that a man should leave his mother and his father and cleave unto his own wife. God is not a fool. Stop holding on to modernity. Don't be deceiving that sister or that brother with fake promises in exchange for sex, or just to gratify your sexual urges. There are many of them out there. Beware of them. Gather your acts together and settle down with one person. If you find love, then maintain a godly distance, a godly sexual distance with your partner, so you can be able to keep yourself pure enough to be used by God. Love is not an excuse for sexual immorality. Bed undefiled, that is law. And the principles of God cannot be defiled. Remember, you are nothing without God. So if you want to please Him, you have to understand that connection with Him will give you the lift you need in all facets of your life. That being said, let's skip to the next one, the last one for today. Rushing into marriage is not the escape route from sexual immorality. God's perfect will for you is to be totally sanctified and free from sin. So if you are experiencing any of these excessive sexual arousals, you must go to God in prayers and ask Him for help, because that is the only way. It is only God that can sanctify and purify you and make you fit for His own use. Stop looking for avenues, because they will only make it worse. Stop going to that porn center or that pornographic site to gratify your sexual urges, because it only helps you sink deeper into it. Ask God for help. He's the only way. Well, all that being said, I wish to close the curtains in today's podcast. I do hope you've gained something. I hope you're able to come out from that sexual sin. Thank you for listening. Remember to follow our page, like, comment, and of course, do well to share our posts. Bye for now.
Oh God, oh God, I am desperate for you, Jesus. Deliberately desperate, deliberately desperate. I am desperate for you. Lord, it is me, the one you love. Lord, Lord, it is me, the one you serve. I am here again. I am desperate for you, God.